Hello, fellow Star Wars fans. I remember the night I heard Lucasfilm had been bought out by Disney and they announced that they would be making one film a year. I was so excited. I thought, this is going to be brilliant. Star Wars back. Once a year. One movie a year. That's awesome. How are they going to do it? I didn't care. Star Wars was going to be back and I was so excited. So how did it all go wrong? Well, I think we have to be honest and think that The Last Jedi killed the franchise. It did. I'm here on YouTube a lot and I see so many, I see Geeks and Gamers, a great YouTube channel, who are so angry what's happened, and they've started up a boycott and it's working. I would repeat and say Geek and Gamers are not boycotting, but the guy, Jeremy, who runs the channel, has refused to see Solo a Star Wars story. But really, The Last Jedi was the killer of this franchise. So why is that? Well, look, I would say political, but I'm more liberal than anything else. And even I came out of The Last Jedi feeling so deflated. And here's why. We get into the film. We kill off the best thing about this trilogy, Snoke. They kill off Snoke and they leave us with Kylo Ren, a weak villain, not just a weak villain, a weak character. And you're just thinking, wow, I'm stuck with him now. Now, I thought The Force Awakens was fine. I thought that ended things on a great thing. And I was so excited to see, for them to explain why Rey was so powerful, why she could do all this stuff. I was excited about that. Finn, you know, there was people talking about maybe he's, the character Samuel Jackson's kind of distant relative or something. You know, the guy he played in the prequels. Or could he have something to do with Lando Calrissian? You know, we were asking all these exciting questions. And it seemed to me that Lucasfilm got offended by all our theories. Now, only the Force can tell you why, because I can't tell you why, and nobody else can tell you why. So what we saw after The Force Awakens was the problem. Now, let's talk about Rogue One. Now, I remember people saying the effects for Steppenwolf were terrible in Justice League. I didn't think they were that bad. And when you look at the CGI for Princess Leia in Rogue One, they were terrible. Now, big concern about Lucasfilm under Disney, 2 films. So they had Ron Howard come in to replace Lord and Miller, and they had a fixer to come in for Rogue One because they didn't like what Gareth Edwards had done. Now, they didn't sack Gareth. Now, Gareth's a bloody nice guy and a great director. All I can say is Lord and Miller was sacked, probably, and Gareth Edwards, they weren't happy with him because he didn't do exactly what they wanted him to do. And that's the problem with Disney. They are not a director-run organisation. They tell you what they want and you've got to deliver it. And unfortunately, if you're a director, it's really difficult, should I say, because you have your vision, you're trying to execute what they want, but sometimes you might make your own decision here. A gut feeling that you think something might not work. I know that myself. But they're just so, so that's the problem. So I think Rogue One was okay, but there's another thing I've noticed with Star Wars under Disney. They don't like the lightsaber. We see very few lightsaber fights. Slowly, they're taking away what Star Wars is. Even if you ignore the feminist agenda and things like that. As I said, I'm a liberal, and I've noticed that, and I haven't liked that. But the big issues here is taking away what Star Wars is. Trying to say that anyone can wield a lightsaber. The kid with the broom kind of explained that perfectly at the end. I remember the last scene when basically they're all being friendly on the Falcon, and all of a sudden Rey's giving a Poe Dameron fuck me eyes. And I'm thinking, but in the first film you were all with Finn. What's going on here? And you know, they talk about diversity. They call us Star Wars fans racists and bigots, but they took an actor and an actress played by an Asian actress and a black actor, took those characters away from all the white characters. I'd say Rian Johnson's the racist, don't you? And I noticed that from the off. They diluted Finn's character terribly, but there are a lot of issues with this. Now, if we go on to Luke Skywalker. Now, I suppose if I take a step back, I could say kind of logic's old and fed up and he just doesn't want to know anymore. But it's not what us fans want to see. We want to see a wise Luke Skywalker, a bit of an Obi-Wan Kenobi, but who can still wield a lightsaber and is pretty awesome. And commands his own army even, or something interesting like that. But to have him hide in Ireland wasn't really what we wanted to see. And also, he didn't need to die. And the way he died and the way he fought Kylo was pretty ridiculous. But my main issues of this film are basically it being revealed that Rey's parents were a couple of drunks, diluted the whole trilogy for me, and the death of Snoke. The death of Snoke and the reveal on Rey really killed everything for me. And I didn't come out the cinema really angry. I came out the cinema deflated. I thought, I'm not very interested in this trilogy anymore. There's nothing there. You know, I grew up on Star Wars. I wouldn't say I'm a die-hard Star Wars. I don't buy the toys and things like that. But it's obvious to me, what I read on the internet, that people have boycotted Solo, a Star Wars story. Nobody wanted a Solo film without Harrison Ford. That's clear. It's nothing to do with the people in the film. I feel sorry for Ron Howard. I feel sorry for the young lad playing young Han. I mean, from all kind of results, a lot of people say it was an okay movie. I can believe that. But at the end of the day, when you look at it, what Disney are doing here, and now we've got this terrible box office. The only thing that you can compare this box office to is other Star Wars films. There is no there is no of Star Wars films. People are not fed up of Star Wars films. We're fed up with what Disney are doing with them. I mean, Kathleen Kennedy's public enemy #1 now, and it seems to me Disney are not supervising her enough. There's no communication between the two companies, and that's a big problem to me. I think George forced them to put her in charge, and I think without that he wouldn't have sold to them. So I think getting rid of her is going to be very, very difficult unless she quits. Rian Johnson's trilogy, I feel, will never see the light of day. I always thought that was just Lucasfilm trying to look like it was all part of the plan and they're happy with him, but I think they will get rid of Rian Johnson. They have to. They have to sort things out. We want Dave Filoni in charge creatively. We all want that. What they're doing right now, I mean, the way they've treated us, the way they talk to us online as well, it's just very, very odd. And this film, Solo, a Star Wars story, could actually make 100 million less than Justice League. Everyone made fun of Justice League, but even it didn't make the money they wanted or we wanted them to. But 650 is respectable, if nothing else. I can't see Solo even getting that, because if you're having big drop-offs after Thursday and Friday, what chance have you got of getting up to 650? They haven't. This is not only going to be a bomb comparable to other Star Wars films, it's going to be a bomb compared to other films. They gave us this false target of 150 million opening weekend. They lied. This is what they do, because they have got all these movie sites in their back pockets. Again, that's another problem to me. A big problem. I am kind of fed up of this Disney kind of leading the way in films now. There's no real films anymore. It's just throwaway movies, and that's what they've done to Star Wars. Everything's so throwaway with them. I don't know what's going to happen, Star Wars, everyone. All we can do is hope for the best, and I'll be back talking about more Star Wars. May the Force be with you.